Hello, my name is Nicholas, and I cannot believe what I just saw. The Falcon Heavy just took off, and I'm blown away. I did not expect it to be that amazing. I knew it would be really, really cool, but that was beyond any of my expectations. It was. I don't know if you saw the live stream, but after it, even the reporters, the people who were expecting it, were laughing with glee. And honestly, I was too. It really blew me away. So, so let's delve right into what actually happened, and then I'll talk a little at the end, after I drone away at it, which is kind of not exciting, but you'll get some information. If not, maybe skip that part. The Merlin engine powers both the Falcon 9 and the Falcon Heavy rockets. It uses liquid oxygen and rocket-grade kerosene as a propellant, and uses them to create 845 kilonewtons of thrust at liftoff. And that number will go up to 914 kilonewtons as it climbs out of the atmosphere. And it also has a thrust to weight ratio of 155 to 1, which is extremely good. Now, the engines have to be strapped to something, and the body of the Falcon Heavy is made up of 3 Falcon 9 first stages. I wasn't able to find what they're attached with, but it's likely something that can separate because the 2 side boosters have to separate before they fall off. It could be an explosive that separates it, or some kind of a clamp, but there's likely metal involved. The engine situation is kind of peculiar because it has 27 engines, but we actually have an example from back in the 60s from the space race. The Russian N-1 rocket was the Russian equivalent of the Saturn V that was supposed to bring Russians to the moon, but it had 30 engines, and a lot went wrong with those. There wasn't much ground testing for it, the original designer died, the engines weren't good quality, and I think this is the main reason. The computers were underpowered and the software was less advanced. On the Falcon 9, we have entire teams of people working on it. It's been ground tested a lot, and they're testing it on the pad right now. The engine cores are being reflown, or at least I think 2 of them are. And also computers are far more advanced and compact now than they were during the space race. Plus, we have more advanced software. The software can make the gimbaling more effective because the engines actually move when they're flying. I think the center moves the most, or at least the center of each Falcon 9 core, and they have to gimbal to control the rocket. But without very powerful computers, they can't gimbal very well. And there was an engine explosion in November, but that doesn't affect the Falcon Heavy launch because that's a new kind of engine for the human-rated Falcon 9. It's another version of the Falcon 9 coming out this year. And like I said before, it has 27 engines, and there are 9 per core in an octaweb shape. The octaweb is an arrangement devised by SpaceX to be easy to manufacture. And then the second stage is the same as the Falcon 9 second stage. It's a single Merlin engine. So when it works, the Falcon 9 can bring 22,800 kilograms to low Earth orbit, 8,300 kilograms to geostationary transfer orbit. That's opposed to the Falcon Heavy, which can bring 63,800 kilograms to low Earth orbit and 26,700 kilograms to geostationary transfer orbit. That's a big difference, and it counts a lot.
So now that you know a bit more about the Falcon Heavy, I can talk about it. Something that I witnessed in the live stream of it actually happening was I don't think there were explosives when the 2 boosters separated. Well, the 3. When the 2 side boosters separated from the central rocket. That is something that could have been used, or at least it is used in some applications similar to that. Maybe not similar, but at least it is used in space probes of some kinds. But I don't think this one used it because there was very little. I didn't see any shrapnel. It just kind of separated, which I found it very interesting. Now, one of my favorite parts was when they landed because it just looked so appealing. It was very impressive how they both touched down at the same time. And I don't know, I'm still shaken from that. It was a really amazing thing. Let me show you a little bit.
3, 2, 1, ignition. Now she walked through with some Falcon Heavy. To the seat with the clear fuel. And she's looked through the silver screen. But the film is a sad thing for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools if they ask her to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the low man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know who's in the best-selling show. Is their life on Mars?
And I did set it to Life on Mars just as they did in the live stream and their simulation from a couple days ago. And like I said, I'm still shaken from that. That was truly amazing. And this is really significant because it can lift a huge amount of weight. And I can't quite remember the figure. I'll put it up on the screen. But it's more than double any rocket in operation today at half the cost, which is crazy, to be honest. But of course, reusability. The reusability really just slashes the cost. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't see how you couldn't have, because you saw clips of the Falcon Heavy. But if you did like it and subscribe, and please leave a comment with suggestions, and goodbye.